I should find better shelter before I freeze.
How necromancer works, but we'll find out. Lifesteal? Oh, this Necro is going to be like so OP. I've got one skeleton already and it's breezing through. I should have done a hardcore playthrough.
Another abandoned town.
Demons. Everywhere. Fangs in the dark. He bit me!
I wonder if we're able
Careful! He's a wild one.
to decompose or read. Per hit, sweep then, and if there's in front of you, deal 3 Anyways, reap increases your damage reduction for 2 seconds. Wait. We're just gonna. We're just gonna do that for a second.
What's it to you?
Come, I'll explain.
Wonder how Reap's gonna go.
There is evil staring in the ruins to the north. That poor monk back there must have gone inside. Even a holy man like him was driven mad by whatever he saw. Could you
I wonder if we're gonna like be able to. Bloodlands that lingers. Enemy for 3 seconds, so that's overall damage. Blood surge. Draw blood from enemies, dealing 6 damage, and expel a blood nova, dealing 15. Blood surge nova damage increases surge of blood. That deals 9 damage and leaves behind a defiled area, dealing for over 6 seconds. So we've got Reap. Let's try blood damage, possibly. Like, we kind of
Road's blocked. Should clear up when the storm has passed.
that might be OP. Just because of the damage reduction and skeletons. We'll get to the next bit. And rebone splinters. I think we should try that. I don't know what that does. Right, because this could be like seriously OP. But we've got to figure out the damage factor of it. probably could go a little easier. So these two look like they're OP. And obviously we've got skeleton. Oh, everyone's playing Necro. That's kind of crazy. Alrighty. That's kind of crazy. It's just not happening. Well, you can probably say Necro's broke. Nope. That was easy. That was easy. Let's find out. Other people's got a few different builds, but right now this one maybe not for bosses.
You've returned.
We'll see.
The lost souls! All of you!
You are blessed.
I don't know if
like
that's.
us
I don't know
now.
if this is worth it. I have to pick up
That
blood
was all
option,
of them.
and it also deals damage to enemies
Light
around
willing.
you. probably try. Okay, let's try this really quick.
Madman.
I need more time.
Only fire can cleanse the darkness in this place.
I was fed. Is this real?
Floor.
You came to thank the light. You collect?
My game just crashed. Wicked. Oh dear. We'll give it a few seconds if not. It's so bad. Come on. Yep, that's a full-on crash. Well, didn't experience that in the early access beta. Now everyone, we're gonna have to sit in a queue. 54 minutes. Wow. What did they say on the frickin' on the updates that they put out? Something along the lines of, oh, we're not expected to wait in queue in the open beta like you were in the early access. Like, 'cause even in the early access didn't really wait in queues. Guess what? 54 minutes left in the queue for an open beta. See, I haven't got, right, I haven't got issues with, like, queue times, right? I've not got issues with it. What I've got issues with, right, is game companies just absolutely waffling. Like, full on having a waffle about, like, we are expecting exceptionally high player volume for Diablo 3 open weekend, so there've been like long logging queues. Like, no shit. Sort your servers out. Like, I spent 20 minutes logging in earlier, and now we're at 54 minutes, which is ridiculous. Okay, it took 4 minutes off. I'm just hoping it goes quicker. So what can we chat about? You know what? I'll actually give my overall review on how I'm finding Diablo. So, after playing early access beta, I think structurally the game's okay. It's very simple. Me personally, I enjoy the open world. Like, the open world aspect is good, but there's not really a lot to do in the open world. To what we've played so far, there's not a lot to do. And everything's very same. Everything's copy paste. So let's take like cellars for instance. You go into a cellar, none of them are different in this. In the first act, they're all the same. It's like they've copied and pasted just the same cellar design. So that's a big issue they need to fix. Character design I enjoy. I wish there was a few more customizational options when you're creating them, but it's obviously better than Diablo 3's customization, so that was fine. Got no issue with that. Story so far, really enjoying Act 1. I wish we didn't have to play the first initial bit over and over again when we start characters. I wish we could skip it. I wish that was like an introduction and you could just skip. But that's fine. So let's get into characters. So I played Sorcerer first, and personally I think the Sorcerer's OP. Like, very high damage output. You could technically, you'd see like warriors, or well, at that time you'd see barbarians trying to 1v1 something, and you'd just come in and annihilate it in like 3 seconds. Like, so that's really where they need to kind of change it, because you'd be like a level, I don't know, let's say you're like a level 15 barbarian. A level 5 sorceress can do output more damage than you, which is kind of silly. And early on, this is another one because I played barbarian as well, so I'll implement this here. Barbarians are very squishy. Don't understand why. Makes no sense why they're squishy at all. They're meant to be a tank class. They're meant to be tankier, but you've got a sorcerer who can tank more. But anyway, the skill set for the sorcerer, with them some being OP, some of them were very pointless skills I came across. Like, some of them were, there was no point of even having them on. Like, they did nothing at all compared to when you get your build. So I think that needs changing. For me personally, I think if you're going to get a variety of good skills, at least have them mean something. Like, at least have them affect the game a little bit. Some of them was just, you might as well just throw them away. Like, because some of them were, like I say, so pointless. Speaking of skills, so skill tree. The hardest thing now is the skill tree is really simple. Do I wish it was a little more complex? Me personally, like, not 100% like Path of Exile, because that was super complex. But I wanted it kind of somewhere in the middle. But right now it's really simple, which is good if you're a new player. That's fine. But for me, just more interesting skills. I think the skills are quite lackluster as well. Some of them are really good, like the design of skills and the feeling. like for instance when using a sorcerer and when using Scorch, it actually feels like you're shooting fire and it sounds like fire, a fire beam, whereas before it would just be like a beam noise or something. So design on some of the skills are good, some it's like a little blue dot or a little, it's kind of pointless. But I wish they had gone into more of complex than simple. But I don't understand why. I think right now that's what they're going to struggle with most, me personally, is Diablo, is it too simple right now? Is Diablo 4 too simple? And that being said, like, everything that we came across, other than we died a few times due to like server lag, and that's pretty much all anybody died to was like server lag. And I know we're only on like world tier 2, but the game feels like super easy right now, which I don't kind of like. I want a bit of hardness, but I also think it feels easy because there's a lot of running and there's not enough enemies while you run. So let's say you're running, because the map's huge, you run quite a lot without seeing anything, and at some points fast traveling becomes more viable. And with a Diablo game, you don't want that. You want to be able to fast travel, but you want to be able to slay a lot of enemies because you're looking for loot, loot drops. I get that they're implementing horses. I think it's in Act 2, so I get that's probably going to narrow down it feeling like there's not a lot of enemies, but still, it doesn't feel like there is a lot in the world at the moment. I think also, let's talk about dungeons, because I think for me dungeons is a big thing, and my wife thinks the same thing. She likes, let's say, she likes Diablo 3 for like the map constantly changing, and because obviously this map's so big it can't constantly change because it's not linear. So for her, because she liked that aspect, she was hoping that, oh, dungeons would change. Like you go into a dungeon, you run through, let's say you complete it the first time, you go in the same dungeon again. Obviously it's the same dungeon, it's not a complete different dungeon, but we would like a different, like, you're not going the same way. It's like, okay, the map's changed, it's the same dungeon, same boss, the map's changed. Because right now every time we're going to dungeon, it's collect a key for a door, or go to two like pedestals, collect boxes and cubes, put them on, and then fight the boss. Which I get, but it becomes so boring after a while that you go in, and that's crazy because the first act there should be things that implemented in the first act that are like, oh wicked, I can't wait for the next dungeon. But right now, as we're playing, you go into it and there's nothing being like, oh wow, that was cool, I want another dungeon like that. You don't get that because you go into the next dungeon and it's the same, or you go into the same one and it's exactly the same thing you're doing. Now, do I know why they did that? I don't want to say laziness, but it feels like laziness, because I also know a lot of streamers who have made good points of how they can implement different things to change that change the dungeon system up. And for me, I agree with a lot of them. Like, something needs to change on it. For me, I'm like, okay, go find a key to open the door to kill the boss. Fine. I know, like Asmongold, for instance, he said you can either do the two cubes and that weakens the boss and then fight the boss, or go in and go fight the boss straight away, like after all the after you've gone through all the mobs and stuff. Fight the boss straight away. The boss is harder, but it drops more loot. I agree with that. For me, I'll be happy with just how normal dungeon systems are, or even like raid systems, like go in, kill some mobs, mini boss, kill some more mobs, a bigger mini boss, kill some mobs, end boss. Like they need, and I'm only speaking on early access Act 1, so this could be like ridiculous, and this could all be wrong from all the streamers, and then like Act 2 is completely different and all the dungeons are changed and everything. But for right now, the dungeons are kind of lackluster, and I think everyone kind of wants dungeons. And I think a lot of this is where MMOs go wrong. I know Diablo's not an MMO, but implements dungeons and stuff. Is that any game that's got dungeons in it's the thing that people like. People are so attracted to dungeons because you get powerful. It's like, okay, we're gonna go tackle this dungeon. You know what I mean? So you go in, and if it's so lackluster and it's kind of like boring, it kind of puts that break on in your mind to go, okay, we can see where the rest of the dungeons are going to be in the game, which then obviously makes you don't want to play. It makes you want to play the game and not play the dungeons. So that being said, some of the dungeons were cool, really easy dungeons to do. Like, obviously I'm not going to do a hardcore playthrough right this second because there's still server lags, server issues, and things like that. And especially, I had a few with the sorcerer. Barbarian, every time you swung for me at least, every time I swung my axe or my sword, I'd get, like, server lag. It'd stutter a little bit, and it'd always get me killed. So I couldn't really do anything about it. I do like the graphics. They do look kind of bad on videos, but actually, when you're playing the game, they're quite good. They're amazing. I like the fact also of how we've gone to like Diablo 2 style like gore. I think that's what Diablo 3 was missing. Hopefully, for me right now, I kind of get Diablo vibes, but there's still a part of the game that feels like Diablo Immortal, which is starting to like worry me a little bit. I'm like, oh, okay, like this little part still feels like Immortal, and obviously we know how that went. Like, we don't want the game to even turn out like that. What else did they say? I'm trying to think what they released some things saying what they're going to design and everything. Do I think any of these changes are going to be implemented at all? Probably not. Like, playing the game, other than a few minor issues, it feels finished. Do I think they're going to get a lot done in the 3 months that it's going to take for them to come out? No. Like, the 3-month period to change a lot of dungeons and issues with copy and paste things. I think that's their main focus now, is that because everyone's played through technically Act 1, going back to it, everything feels like copy and paste, like dungeons and cellars and things. So they need to kind of, in this 3 months, kind of rework some things. Not do anything crazy, but definitely rework some issues that they were having with that, of how it feels in that way. But all in all, I do enjoy it. I think some characters need reworking. I think some don't. Barbarian definitely needs reworking. Some of the loot system's good, and they need to kind of implement a loot system of you get kind of a lot of like useless loot that you kind of have to pick up. I wish there was like a dismantle button in your inventory, so you didn't have to continuously go back to town. that hopefully they implement something like that in. Also, what I found is like POV. I wish it was a little bit wider and a little bit more drawn out. Because it does it automatic for you sometimes, and sometimes you're like, okay, I just need it like a touch more out, just a little bit to figure that out. But all in all, I'll give the game like a solid 7 right now for a Diablo game. For the actual game. I think what else is that we can speak about? Okay, so let's talk like armor design. So for Sorcerer, some of the armor design so far was kind of meh. Like, it was kind of subpar. I wish... I get we're early on, but what is it? I think there's like... Is there not like 40 levels? No, there's 50, because 50 is Paragon, I do believe, I think. So there's 50 levels. So we were halfway through the game, and me personally, after legendaries and all sorts, and even dismantling some legendaries to get the transmog and the certain effects off him, my Sorcerer still kind of looked just like I was like a level 1 noob coming into it, which was kind of annoying, because obviously my wife was playing, what is it, Assassin or Rogue, I can't remember now, and her character looked cool, and I'm like, oh, this sucks, because I'm 25, I've had a plethora of legendary gear, and my character still kind of just looks like, okay, like. And also, which is kind of weird, that I noticed, because I'm into magic and fantasy, and I've done witchcraft and stuff like that, some of the male face masks and stuff, like helmets, designs, you wouldn't really see on males, you'd see them on females, so I think they've got something crossed there. I think they designed it and it was like, oh, okay, this'll look good, but it reminds me of like some of the face gear, especially the male one. It's like a helmet, it's like with mesh that dangles down quite past the chin, like here it's like chainmail-y thing. You kind of wouldn't see that on a male. You'd see it on like females in like ancient, like, I'm not gonna say they were worn by ancient Greek, but in that era of their enemies and stuff, you'd see that. So I don't get why it was on male, like it's on a male character. It kind of throws it off a little bit. I thought barbarian armor was pretty good. The same with weaponry. Like, what frustrated me is I like the transmog system, because you can be like, oh, for me, I was running around with a stick with three schools hanging off it. It looked so cheap and tacky. It looked like you could literally, it was like a toothpick. So, but it's like the best. It was like the best staff ever. So that was hard. I think right now at 25, I found that staffs were better than wands. I think wands, because staffs are two-handed, and wands you have like a wand and then an effigy, whether that's a hat, whether that's like a head or a book. I don't think like that was cool enough. It was just like, I know it's an actually, well, it might get better, but for me, like, the book should like glow, or like the pages turn us, like, it's something, but it's a lot of the time it's just a book. So that was a big issue. Like, some of the design on the weapons and stuff were not great, but some of them were amazing. Like, I've one helmet that looks awesome. I have a staff that looks awesome now. It's just a lot of them are like, okay. And I think 25, you're halfway through the game, like level wise. So this is what the confusing point is I think with what everyone did in Act 1, if you're going to do all the dungeons, all the like encampments that are taken over by enemies and you have to take them over, which I thought was cool because you take them over and then everyone in the area gets a skill point, which I thought was good. The world boss in the first area, these things doing everything, like we hit 25 a long time ago. Like we must have been playing, like I think we had like an extra full day of playing, and we had already hit 25 the day before. So we were thinking, okay, what level would we have been if there wasn't a level cap? I think we would have been at least 35, and I'm like, okay, so 35 by the end of Act 1. Don't even know if it was at the end of Act 1 yet, but it was pretty close, or it was just the end of Act 1. We would have probably been like 35. So I think that needs kind of changing a little bit, because if that's the case, we're going to hit max level like 50 at the end of Act 2. And then we'd only completed like a small majority of the map. It's like one little corner. It's like Fractured Peaks, and you've not even done all of Fractured Peaks. So I think by the end of Act 2 you'd be 50. So are we doing Paragon levels of 50 until the whole rest of the... So I like to see where that goes, because it's kind of worrying if that's the case. What do I think of Act 1 though? Let's think. So Act 1 was good. I think Act 1 was better than Path of Exile's Act 1. But then obviously Path of Exile's kind of got a little bit better. So there's that. I want to see how horses are implemented into it. They might be good, they might not be. We'll see the mechanics of that. I don't think anybody's done any PvP yet. The world boss, let's speak about the world boss, because oh my god, this world boss caused so many issues. The last day of the game, there was like 30 people standing at the world boss, and they were all trying to communicate if the world boss was coming, and people had so much mixed information and the wrong information, it was crazy. So, and I'm pretty sure it's the same today for the world bosses. It's the same silly strategy. And so when the game came out, the world bosses, I think it was like the 18th and the 20th, I think, was, or something on the lines, whatever dates it was like, so the first one, if you're Eastern, let's say you're American, where we are right now, obviously I'm English, but I'm in America, it was like 2 PM, right? And you're like, awesome, wicked. So it was like 2 PM, and then I think it was like 4 PM, right? That was the first two, I think, the war bosses showed up, right? It could be a little different. So that's the first day, so that's reasonable. The second time they show up, the first one is, I think it's like, same again, like 2 PM. And then the only other chance, no, I think it was 2, yeah, same again, like 2 and then 4. And then the next set, which, get me wrong, this is ridiculous, it was 4 AM and 8 AM, right, to do it. So let's say you missed the first lot, who's up at 4 AM and 8 AM? Wait, and you have no indication when this is coming. It doesn't pop up on the screen. There's no pop-up on the screen or a little thing that says war boss spawning this blah 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 this time. And I just thought, how stupid is that? You can have it at 4 o'clock in the morning and 8 o'clock in the morning. Like, because people aren't gonna, if you miss it, let's say you work, or let's just say you're a casual player, or whatever the issue is, and you don't know when it is, you're still, like, you put your world bosses at kind of like peak times where people are going to be able to play it, not not like 4 AM and 8 AM. So me and the White, we never got to do the world boss like a lot of other people didn't, because one, I should have checked Twitter because I'm on Twitter quite a bit, but two, there was no option, and if it says, oh, let's say the 19th of March, let's just say, oh, the last world boss is 19th of March, right? You're not thinking in your head that you in your head as a gamer, if it's like the last time you get to fight the world boss is the 19th of March, you're thinking, oh, okay, wicked, I've got time to wake up, do something, and kill it throughout the day. No. They did everyone dirty. They were like, no, it was 19th early in the morning. So a lot of people didn't get to do it. I heard it was okay, but I don't know. Like, I think Blizzard or whoever's doing these times for war bosses need to fix that. I don't think it, like, again, it's probably going to be different in the full game, but it's the same. I think it's the same times war boss for the open beta as well. So for anybody who's watching right now, be aware, like, go to Twitter or find a source that shows you what time the war boss spawns for what region of the planet Earth you're in, because there's no indication, and some of the times are ridiculous. Now, if you're not really like a late person and you don't really stay up quite late, then you probably want to do it throughout the day, because the only other time is really early in the morning, and that's kind of, it's hard to do that if you're busy. But I think that there's my only issues right now. I definitely need some work. They've got 3 months. Figure out the server lag a little bit. Kind of let people, if they want to skip this first bit that you're in, because it just go straight to town. I do like the how you can, the town aspect of, there's like a lot of like shops and things like that, but I can't really speak on it because you're limited to what you can do. You only upgrade your potion twice. You can only upgrade certain things twice, but you can do, like, you can dismantle jewelry. There's added effects that if you dismantle at a certain place like a legendary, you get the effect off the legendary that then you can apply to just a regular to make it a legendary. There's definitely quite a lot of interesting things that they've done. The big issue, speaking about towns, the big issue is if you're co-oping, whether that's someone online, I don't know about couch co-op because I don't do couch co-op, but if you play multiplayer with somebody, sometimes the towns don't let you go into the quest area, so you have to be like sometimes simultaneously together. If one person's a bit in front, there's like an invisible wall that stops and like it rubber bands you. It's kind of crazy, and then you have to run back out, but then sometimes you run in, and if someone hits the quest, like I think I hit the quest first, and I was like, oh, I'll do it, and then obviously Madeline, the quest disappeared for it. It was kind of weird. I don't know why. Don't think it's going to be interesting to see what they called battle pass things of how they're doing it, because I don't see how that can implement it. It's just going to be cosmetics, but you know, it's like, if people are going to pay, it has to be decent cosmetics, but it's also the thing of like, okay, people are going to be able to miss out on these cosmetics if they don't get the battle pass. So there's that as well. So hopefully they don't do that and they implement it. Apparently I keep getting I'm queued, but then I keep getting in a bigger queue, and then a smaller queue, and then a bigger queue. I'm trying to think what else after playing like the full thing and 2 full characters, really. Like, we did character design. What else? What else? I'm trying to think now. I think I covered a lot of it. Like, Fractured Peaks were good, like the snow effect was pretty good. I did find this weird. I don't know if anybody else found it, so let me know in the chat or up on YouTube when this goes up. I found one super rare enemy that I got an achievement for it and a challenge done. It was like, oh, super rare enemy. And I killed it, and it gave a sword for, what is it, an assassin or rogue, whatever the class is. And it was like a cursed sword, and it looked really cool because the sword was on fire. It was like white flames. It was like white flames, but in the flames had like black like ethereal movement type thing. It looked so cool. And of course, the only time you see a super rare enemy that drops some crazy rare loot that I don't know if anybody ever got or anything, because I've heard no one talk about it, it's not for your character. So that was interesting. I only saw one though. What else? I wish there was more loot goblins as well. But like I say, it was still early on, so. But hopefully everyone's having a good time on it, playing it, chilling, and not in a queue like me right now. Did the server? I don't know if the servers went down. The servers might have gone down, to be honest with you. Oh my god, that broke my freaking chair. So, yeah, hopefully we can get to playthroughs. I think I'm going to play majority Necro, and I might do a full Druid playthrough. I've not decided yet. Me personally, I'm not a huge Necro fan, just because they have a lot of summoning skills, and I've played like Necro quite a bit in the past, and I've seen people play Necro, and it's kind of, me personally, I don't know how to do it. I don't know how, because eventually you kind of just sit back and let all your your own mobs that you spawn do the work, and so I've never been a fan. What else? I do think they should have implemented different characters. Me personally, I don't mind a few of them, but I think they've gone too basic with the characters again. Like, I feel like, for me, Paladin would have been better than Barbarian. I know my wife, she misses Witch Doctor. I like the Druid. Like, Druid is fun. Sorcerer's good. I just think they should have implemented a few more, maybe, to get that variety. So, how is this 3 minutes left? Thank you. It's like I jinxed myself. If it goes to another queue, I'm gonna give up. Thank you. Yeah, so the face thing I was talking about is this. Like, the helmet's cool. The face thing, like, lose the face thing. Not a fan of the face. Oh my god. I honestly thought it was going to put me in a queue for a game that just started. 1 minute. Oh my god. What have we done? 50. So what's that, an hour? An hour and 30. I'm at like an hour and 34 minutes in queue time. Overall, before I even, like, it's with me loading the game up as well. Let's do this.
I'm not ready yet.
You'll know what I mean when I go into this salon.
I need more time.
these here, like Iceworn Cellar, they're all the same. It's literally the same cellar over and over and over again. At one point, I've tried it on a wall. I didn't want to rank that up again, but hey ho. Let's get in there. Let's try this one. So we've tried a few of them so far. Just for these are basic attacks. Okay, that might be kind of OP. Whether we go like a decon. Like a decomposition build, maybe. Okay, yeah, that's kind of OP, guys. And I've done upgraded it twice. So what other abilities? So I'll keep that one on. Dual Lance is good. This is good. 25 mana. 30 mana. Okay. We'll keep trying. Definitely different ones. Down. Right, it's got like a range on it as well. For like a beam effect. Okay, Necro's got some fun skills. Like, so what I was saying is like a lot of these are kind of useless. And they're kind of not, but still. So, whatever this decomp, I think it's like a decomp move is, it's kind of OP. It's quite nice.
I need more time.
I think we need more than like one dash.
I need more time.
Like I know some items implement a longer dash. Like this bit, like this could at least give me some filler enemies to get in.
Is anyone here? What are you hiding back here?
Now we're running upwards. So hopefully, I think there's like, yeah, there's the four. I tell you that discharge of blood, whatever it is, it's kind of but if you guys get like swarmed, was hoping a legendary, but you know. Oh, this climbing down thing as well. I wish they could implement like something that you climb down quicker. We'll go left first. Skeletons
Roads blocked. Should clear up when the storm has passed.
Right, this is going to be the important one. See how. Technically, I should probably do it. Disperse into a blood mist, becoming immune. Second, your movement speed is reduced. Corpses and detonate a corpse, dealing damage to surrounding enemies. Bone prison. Oh, so that's okay. Reduce 20% one damage. I can detonate a corpse. That was stupid stuff. Oh dear. Oh, I thought I was gonna get a legendary. No. Okay then. What was that? I did not. Now it's now it's like, do I need my X ability? My explosion? My blood explosion.
The angel. Let's not linger. Key overshot lies just
We
ahead.
weren't lingering, but you were adamant. Do something. I never understand why that's.
Hold. To enter the city, you must
We have no
first
time for this.
take a piece of holy cedar wood from the shrine and inscribe it with the sin which troubles you.
Fear.
Then cast it into the bridge. As the fire burns the wood, so too will the light burn away your sin.
I bet I did them all last time. Not this time. Like this like rubber band in there. Freaking see. The city's not loaded properly.
So, what did you write on that piece? I'm off to something about fear, cracked hooves, sway back, cloudy eyes. Let's put
Ah.
Anything else?
All of this.
Wait. The old man sold me this too. He said he didn't need it anymore, but I think he'd want it back all the same.
There we go.
No charge.
Waypoint unlocked.
Ah.
Oh, okay then. Look, it always pops up. Oh my god, things on. Okay. Thought I'd see a little bit more people.
Yes. Well,
I can see 1, 2, 5 people. Oh. I was like, people are 25 already. I'm like, no, they're not. They're just using their like original character.
the new
Impressive.
thank.
Let's get out of this town. Let's do this. And my skeleton's just gonna, like... Okay, they're gonna judge her all the way apart. We got Judder in. Oh, that's gonna be so annoying. It's so broken. Blown up. See, a lot of people are gonna be what have we gotta do? Investigate the road. People already done it. just gonna wait for this to respawn apparently. Your critical strike chance can no longer raise skeleton. Is it pointless waiting for this?
I'm out of essence.
I don't know, die. Honestly. Well, it's kind of pointless. Apparently I can't raise... Wait, is this a certain way I have to raise a skeleton? Or have I got to get a certain thing? I don't freaking know at this point. Okay. So you have to raise them from the bodies. Okay, we get that, we get it. We get it.
Indeed I am.
There's another one over there. We got this.
I'm not ready yet.
No. Nothing's one-handed. Maybe a sickle. Right. So, we're getting somewhere. Don't want to go into there yet. Level 25 plus. But we can come down. I could have sworn that's where I killed that super rare enemy. It just seems familiar. So broken. Okay, we can check. Essence. Put that up for now. Pretty sure this is like a little town down here. Oh,
How did this happen? I shouldn't be holding this in my hands. It should be.
Restraint, my lord. Restraint.
Restraint. Why not?
May it protect you. Safe journey there.
Upgraded. That's good. That's what we're talking about. We're actually getting somewhere, peeps. So. Oh, what are you? Let's see. That's just an actual weapon. do Forbidden City really quick. I think I'll do this stream and then I'm just gonna jump off really quick. I need to set dog for this wall and I need to grab some food. And then I'll back on after I've done this, so let's just do this really quick. Say quick, it's probably gonna be like a stupid long one. See, this is the issue with dungeons, right? Dungeons, what we was talking about. There's nothing. How long have I ran through it? Nothing. Still nothing. Still nothing. Still so stupid. One after the other. should in theory be the boss fight. Oh, hello, boss. Okay, that's an extra one, but that's okay. Oh. We can have 4. Makes sense. That's kind of crazy. We'll go hand this quest in and then we'll get gone. For now, because I'm home. Ross. So literally, you can have like an army of necromancers who are going to be unstoppable.
Meros.
Twice, I don't know why.
I'm not ready yet.
I'm just like... I think I'm just standing in the frost too much and then I get one shot after the frost. It's okay.
So... Right, stream. I'm literally gonna jump. I'm gonna go grab some food, sort the dog out, and I will be back on in like an hour. I
I do appreciate everyone who's stopped by, watched, even if you are lurking, if you've not said anything. I do appreciate the support as always. And for the YouTube channel, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will catch you all in a bit. I'll see you later. Peace.